Summer isn't just about vacations and sweltering heat. Traditionally, it's also peak season for the anime industry. Get your watch list ready, make yourself comfortable, and let's dive right in. Saga of Tanya the Evil 2. Topping the list is the long-awaited sequel about a cynical, top executive reborn in the body of a little girl. This story picks up immediately after the 2019 film. Tanya the Gurachev continues to dream of a safe post behind the lines, but her tactical genius once again plunges the 203rd Battalion into the very heart of hell. This time, they're heading to the Eastern Front. Ahead lies a bitter winter. The endless armies of the Federation, brutal trench warfare, the revenge of the fanatical Marisu, and new schemes from Being X. Mushoku Tensei, Jobless Reincarnation Season 3. The third season shifts the story scale from personal drama to a global political and magical confrontation. Rudius is now not just a powerful mage, but the head of a large family. At first, we'll see his cozy life with his wives and sisters, but this is merely the calm before the storm. Iris returns to the scene, now as one of the mightiest warriors. The biggest shock will be a mysterious diary from the future, revealing a conspiracy by Hitagami, the human god, while the climax delivers Rudius' epic battle against Orsted, the dragon god. Bleach. Thousand-Year Blood War, The Calamity. This is the fourth and final installment of the grand anime adaptation covering the final arc of Bleach. The war between the Soul Reapers and the Wonderreich reaches its absolute climax, with the fate of the entire universe now at stake. Ichigo Kurosaki and his allies seek a way to stop Eva, while the Seirei continues to burn. Manga author Tite Kubo personally worked on the fight scenes, so we'll get to see hero abilities that were previously kept off-screen. We're in for a non-stop series of epic battles that will bring this 20-year-long story to a fitting conclusion. Smoking behind the supermarket with you. Sasaki is a worn-out 45-year-old office worker whose life has turned into a living corporate hell. His only solace is Yamada, the incredibly sweet cashier at his local supermarket. One evening, after a dreadful day at work, he discovers she isn't on shift. Emotionally drained, Sasaki goes out for a smoke, where he meets a feisty, pursed girl in a leather jacket named Tayama. They quickly hit it off and become regular smoking buddies. But Sasaki has no idea that the rebellious Tayama is actually that very same perfect cashier, Yamada. She recognizes her regular customer, but decides to keep this amusing secret to herself. This is a wonderfully cozy and heartwarming romantic comedy about support and the genuine bond between two very different people. Trapped in a dating sim, the world of Otome games is tough for mobs too. The events of the second season pick up immediately after the finale of Part 1. Leon, a former office worker, reborn as a background mob character in a crazy Otome game, has become the kingdom's savior. However, instead of a PS, he is granted the title of Baron and becomes a prime target for political intrigue. The season begins with Leon's shocking arrest on trumped-up treason charges. His loyal companions, Olivia and Angelica, try to rescue him, after which the trio embarks on an expedition to the mysterious floating islands of the elves. Meanwhile, the war with the Principality of Phanos flares up with the renewed vigor, forcing Leon to dust off his cheat AI, Luxion, once again. Grand Blue Season 3. The third season continues with wild adventures of college students Iori and Kohei at the Peekaboo Diving Club, where dives are always followed by extreme boozy parties. This time, the team heads abroad to the paradise islands of Palau. Don't expect a peaceful holiday though, the craziest arcs from the manga are getting adapted. Iori receives a surprise visit from his sister Shiori, who is determined to exert total control over her brother. Add in an eccentric German girl who doesn't understand the local mindset at all, hangover-induced wake-ups in the worst possible states, and desperate attempts to hide their wild antics from Chisa and Aina, right there at the tropical resort. Skeleton Knight in Another World 2. We return to the adventures of Ark, a gamer who finds himself trapped in an isekai world in the body of a skeleton knight. In the second season, his attempts to lead a quiet life as a mercenary are finally shattered. His innate sense of justice draws Ark into a murky political games and secret conspiracies of rival kingdoms. He continues to free elves from slavery and clear out dangerous dungeons. The hero's main goal remains the same: to find a powerful relic or magic spell to lift the curse on his appearance. To do so, he'll have to face down the most powerful monsters in the universe. Clevatess Season 2. The mightiest demon king, Clevatess, continues his unconventional plan for the revenge against humanity, raising a human infant to become the new ruler and subjugate mankind. While the first season was a dark, travel-focused fantasy, the action now shifts to the Soulsane Magic Academy. Clevatess and his companions are forced to go undercover to blend into society. A convoluted pilot awaits us, featuring secret orders, corruption, and political intrigue. There will also be a greater focus on Alicia's mysterious transformation and the complex relationships between the four demon kings. From Country Bumpkin to Master Swordsman Season 2. Beryl Gardinant, who ran a ruler dojo for over 20 years and still considers himself a mediocre swordsman, continues to take the capital by storm. While he stubbornly suffers from imposter syndrome, the Empire's most influential figures have already recognized his martial achievements. In the new season, Beryl faces formidable opponents and threats to the entire capital. He will once again demonstrate his signature style, lightning fast tactical analysis and realistic techniques that seem like pure magic to outsiders. What's more, the plot will finally delve into his father's backstory, helping us understand the root of the hero's low self-esteem. The Ghost in the Shell. The legendary cyberpunk classic returns. In 2029, the world has become entirely digital, and human bodies can be almost completely replaced by cybernetics implants. The elite police unit Section 9 begins hunting down a mysterious hacker known as the Puppet Master. He hacks into human consciousness, the so-called ghosts, and completely rewrites his victims' memories. During the investigation, Major Motoko Kusanagi comes face to face with them and learns the truth. The Puppet Master is an artificial intelligence that has come to regard itself as a living being. This discovery plunges Motoko into a deep existential crisis. Where does the line between human and machine lie? And how many implants can someone have before losing their own soul? Sparks of Tomorrow. Imagine an alternate Japan in the early 20th century where progress stalled at steam power and Kyoto is shrouded in thick smoke day and night. The young inventor Kihachi once dreamed of an age of electricity and even compiled a catalog of future inventions, but lost hope after his brother went missing in the war. Everything changes when he meets Inako, a girl fleeing on arranged marriage to a ruthless steam magnate. When the long-lost catalog of electrical inventions suddenly resurfaces, the magnate sets out to hunt it down. To protect Inako and his brother's legacy, Kihachi takes on a powerful conglomerate and embarks on a perilous steampunk adventure. Jiro Azuma is your average high school delinquent, but in reality, he is the descendant of a ninja clan who can talk to animals, and secretly feeds all the stray cats in the neighborhood. One day, Jiro rescues a black cat, who turns out to be an ancient and incredibly powerful demon named Reigo. While protecting his new friend from other monsters, the boy sustains a fatal wound. Impressed by his kindness, Reiwa merges with Jiro's body, saving his life and endowing him with colossal strength. Now, other demons are hunting the duo, while the government recruits them into Black Torch, an elite unit tasked with eliminating supernatural threats. 1-year-old cat girl named Yani Neko. She has no money, no job, and absolutely no moral compass. The only thing driving her life is an uncompromising nicotine addiction. Her apartment reeks of smoke and is littered with mountains of cigarette butts, and all her attempts to quit smoking end in a spectacular failure. As soon as Yani Neko runs out of cigarettes, she turns into a veritable toxic monster, ready to scavenge for butts right off the street. Each episode is a collection of absurd and sarcastic sketches. It's a crude, ironic, yet incredibly charming satire on bad habits and the everyday lives of society's outcasts. Though I am an inept villainess, in the empire of A, 5 clans are vying to have one of their own become the future empress. The frontrunner, Ku Reirin, is renowned for her beauty and intelligence, but secretly suffers from an incredibly frail body. Her envious rival, Shukigetsu, uses forbidden magic to push Reirin off a balcony and swap bodies with her. But the plan goes horribly wrong. Keigetsu finds herself trapped in a sickly body on the brink of death, while Reirin wakes up in a prison inside her rival's perfect healthy body. Instead of panicking, the girl feels boundless happiness. Finally, nothing hurts. Now, she's ready to unravel the palace intrigue and prove her innocence, masterfully playing the role of a talentless thief. Love unseen beneath the clear night sky. Kakeru, a shy college freshman, has deliberately isolated himself from society due to a painful past experience. But one evening, his neighbor drags him to a student party, where he meets his complete opposite, Koharu. She is sincere, laughs constantly, and views the world with immense optimism, despite being completely blind. Their interaction begins over a raised white cane and quickly develops into something much deeper. Kakeru learns about the girl's bucket list, where the most important and paradoxical item is to see fireworks. Determined to help Koharu fulfill her dream, the young man gradually breaks down his own wall of loneliness. Determined to help Koharu fulfill her dream, the young man gradually breaks down his own wall of loneliness and opens his heart once more. The World is Dancing. Set in 14th century Japan, during a period of division and political instability, the story follows a teenager named Oniyasha, the future historical figure Ziyami Motokiyo, born into a renowned theater troupe family. While others hone their traditional movements, the boy suffers an existential crisis, trying to understand why people dance at all. Strict family traditions feel like a cage restricting his soul. However, everything changes when Oniyasha witnesses a dance of incredible beauty that reveals the true rhythm of the universe. This is a powerful historical drama about the emergence of a genius and his journey to transform the art form, forever changing the cultural face of Japan and giving rise to legendary No theater. Tomb Raider King. In 2025, mysterious tombs of God suddenly appear all over the world. The ancient relics hidden inside grant supernatural powers, and those who get their hands on them first become all-powerful tycoons. The protagonist, Seo Hun, worked for one of these monopolists as an excavator, an elite specialist in clearing out tombs. During his latest mission, his employer betrays him and leaves him to die in the ruins. But Ji-hun doesn't perish. After absorbing a special relic, he is transported 15 years into the past, armed with vast survival experience, knowledge of all artifact locations, and a burning desire for revenge, he sets out on his own hunt to become the sole, undisputed Tomb Raider King. Kaiju girl Caramelise. High school student Kuro Akai has suffered from a mysterious illness since childhood. Her body becomes strangely deformed whenever she gets excited. Because of this, she has become a lonely outcast. But her sheltered world is shattered when the school's most popular boy, Arata Minami, takes an interest in her. Every time he's near, her romantic emotions go through the roof, and it turns out her condition is actually the heredity trait of a giant kaiju. When her embarrassment reaches its peak, Kuro transforms completely into a massive lovezilla, capable of demolishing skyscrapers. Now, every romantic date or casual flirtation threatens to become a massive disaster for all of Tokyo. The Frontier Lord begins with 0 subjects. Attention! Keep sensitive viewers away from the screen. This is not an isekai. The protagonist, Diaz, is a grown man and a veteran who has spent over 20 years fighting brutal wars for the good of his country. For his exploits, he's awarded a knighthood and vast lands on the kingdom's frontier. However, upon arrival, it turns out his domain consists of endless, empty steppes with a population of exactly 0. Diaz, who knows nothing but war, finds himself in utter despair. Everything changes with the arrival of Aruna, a mysterious horned girl from the Oni race. She helps the hero settle in, and together they pitch their first yurt, laying the foundation for a thriving future city for nomads and demonic races. The Insipid prince Furtive grabbed for the throne. In the Adrasi Empire, a brutal war for the throne breaks out between the emperor's children. The 7th prince, Arnold, is openly despised at court, considered lazy and worthless compared to his brilliant twin brothers, Leonard. But this is merely a flawless mask. In reality, Arnold is Silver, one of the continent's most formidable adventurers and a master of forbidden magic. But when Leonard becomes embroiled in a deadly struggle for the throne, Arnold resolves to protect his brother from the palace intrigue. While continuing to play the fool in public, he secretly manipulates his enemies and destroys them from the shadows. Sora Akai Kawa no Hotori. 15-year-old Japanese schoolgirl Yuri is mysteriously swept back 3,000 years through a puddle of water straight into the ancient Near East. She finds herself in the capital of the Hidi Empire, where the treacherous Queen Nakaya plans to offer the modern girl as a bloody sacrifice to the gods to clear her son's path to the throne. Yuri is rescued by the 3rd prince, Kyle, who declares her his concubine for her own safety. Thanks to her courage and modern knowledge, she gains respect, and the local begin to view her as the incarnation of Ishtar, the goddess of war. Now, she finds herself at the dead center of palace coups and large-scale wars with Egypt and Babylon. My mother-in-law and sister-in-law who don't bully me. Following her mother's death, Mia, the illegitimate daughter of an impoverished nobleman, is forced to move into her father's luxurious estate. Having heard all sorts of horror stories, she braces herself for bullying, menial labor, and a cruel stepmother and stepsisters. However, reality turns out to be the exact opposite. Her new stepmother and stepsisters are incredibly kind and caring, eager to shower her with love and gifts. But due to her deep anxiety and social phobia, Mia has absolutely no idea how to react. In every kind gesture, she subconsciously searches for hidden malicious intent or subtle psychological torture, setting off an avalanche of comical misunderstandings. Dara-san of Reiwa. In a small mountain town, there's a chilling legend about a terrifying monster, half human, half snake, sealed away in the mountains. But when a landslide destroys the shrine fence, siblings Hinata and Kaoru, driven by childish curiosity, venture right in. There, they come face to face with the fearsome and ancient deity Yamataki Madara. And you know what? The kids of Reiwa era couldn't care less. Instead of panicking, they casually start chatting with it. The monster, whom the children quickly christen Dara-san, turns out to be just a terrible, lonely creature. She soon gives up trying to scare them and transforms into an eccentric big sister. This is a hilariously funny story about an ancient deity learning to live in the modern world. Going to festivals, collecting plastic anime figures, and simply seeking human warmth. Sorry about my little brothers. High school student Ito Narita is looking forward to a peaceful family life when her mother remarries and they move into her new stepfather's big house. But there's one catch. Her stepfather has 4 sons and they're all younger than her. Suddenly, without realizing it, Ito finds herself playing big sister to 4 completely different and incredibly boisterous boys. She tries her best to figure out how to get along with each of them, even though every brother has his own complicated personality. She finds it particularly difficult with the eldest, the cold and aloof Jen. But as time goes by, Ito realizes that incredible care hides behind his detached facade. Life under one roof turns out into a cozy, charming, and chaotic whirlwind of amusing family situations and first love. Recommendation from Mr. Iwamoto. Now, let's transport ourselves to an alternate Japan in the 1910s. At the heart of the story is the secret Seiho Military Academy, which collects and researches paranormal phenomena with the aim of turning them into secret weapon for the Empire. The protagonist, Koro Iwamoto, regularly embarks on dangerous missions to remote corners of the country. There, he constantly encounters people with anomalous abilities who view their gifts as a curse, like a boy who conjuring mysterious black snow. Iwamoto takes them under his wing, helps them understand their powers, and writes letters of recommendations for their admission to the school. But the main intrigue lies in Iwamoto's true, hidden motives in this dangerous game on the eve of global conflict. Mebius Dust. 10 years ago, a mysterious meteorite containing a giant crystal fell to Earth, scattering microparticles known as Mebius Dust. Because of this, some teenagers gained superpowers and became known as lambs. But there's a heavy price to pay. They can only survive within the dust range, so they are strictly forbidden from leaving their city. Trapped, the teenagers let off steam in illegal nighttime turf wars. The protagonist, Araki, teams up with his sister and a friend to form the Police Hopper Squad. Their relatively ordinary daily lives come to an end when they agree to take part in Dr. Yuda's secret experiment. This sets off a chain of events that will reveal the grim truth about the crystal's origins and force the heroes to find a way to escape their isolated city. Yoroi-Shinden Samurai Troopers Part 2. This sequel takes us to modern-day Tokyo, where the ancient seal of the demon realm has finally been broken. Hordes of demons, led by the ruthless Emperor Arago, are once again attacking the human world. 5 new young men discover the power of the legendary samurai armor within themselves to fight back. The stakes are sky high, as the iconic warriors from the original lineup finally joins the fray in full force. A massive counterattack, clashes with treacherous generals, and an epic final battle for the fate of the modern world awaits us. As you can see, there's something for everyone this summer, whether you're craving epic battles for fate of the universe, or you just want to kick back with some absurd comedies and heartwarming slice-of-life stories. Be sure to jump into the comments and let us know which anime on this list you're most hyped for. Did I miss a hidden gem that's also worth checking out? Your engagement really helps the channel grow. Drop a like if you enjoyed this roundup, and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss our next review. Happy watching and see you next